12 years. We went to the same small town on holiday. Every August for 12 years. Every August for 12 years. My parents went to the same, near the same beach. So, every morning, every August for 12 years, I woke up at the same sea. It was a small cafe on the beach where we sat every day. And every day, Mr. Morelli in the cafe said, "Good morning," to my parents, and then always patted me on the head like a dog. Every day, we walked down to our red and white umbrella. Every day, my father sat on his deck chair and read the newspaper, then went to sleep. Every lunchtime, we ate the same cheese sandwiches which my mother made. And then, every afternoon, we went up to the cafe and ate an ice cream, while my parents talked to Mr. Morelli about the weather. Free summers were there, but I never made any friends. It was so boring. Free August for 12 years, the same family sat next to us. They were called the Hamiltons. We had a red and white umbrella. They had a green one. Every morning my parents said, "Good morning," to Mrs. Hamilton. And Mr. and Mrs. Hamilton said, "Good morning," to my parents. Sometimes they talked about the weather. They were much friendlier and more handsome than me. They made friends with everyone and organised the games of volleyball on the beach or swimming races in the sea with the other children. They always won the games of volleyball and the swimming races. "Can't you be more like Richard and Philip?" they said to me. "Look at them. They make friends with everyone. They are polite, good boys. You just sit here reading books and doing nothing." I, of course, hated them. Richard and Philip, Richard and Philip, Richard and Philip. It was all I'd ever heard from my parents. Perfect. Everything about them was better than anything about me. Even their green beach umbrella was better than our red and white one. I was 16 years old the last summer we went there. Perfect Richard and perfect Philip came to the beach one day and said that they were going to have a barbecue at lunchtime. They were going to cook for everyone. "Forget your cheese sandwiches," they laughed. "Come and have some hamburgers or barbecue chicken with us. We're going to cook." Parents, of course, thought this was wonderful. "Oh, look at how good Richard and Philip are. They're going to do a barbecue and they've invited everybody. You could organise a barbecue." Free summer for 12 years. "Stolen my bag!" "Impossible," said everybody else. "Thieves here." But it was true. Mrs. Moffat's big bag wasn't there anymore. Nobody had seen any strangers on the beach during the barbecue, so they thought that Mrs. Moffat had perhaps taken the bag and forgotten it. Mr. Morelli organised a search of the beach. Everyone, everywhere for Mrs. Moffat's big bag. Eventually, they found it. My father saw it hidden in the sand under a deck chair. A green deck chair. Richard and Philip's deck chair. My father took it and gave it back to Mrs. Moffat. Everybody looked at Richard and Philip. Richard and Philip, the golden boys, stood there looking surprised. Of course, they didn't know what to say. Mrs. Moffat looked in her bag. She started screaming again. Her purse with her money in it wasn't in the big bag. "My purse!" she shouted. "My purse has gone! Oh, those boys have stolen it! They organised a barbecue so they could steal my purse!" Everybody tried to explain to Mrs. Moffat.
What do you think about the listening just now?
It was nice to hear the story. It was like, what's the name? The writers like
Yeah.
have his own villain arc for it. Feel bad for it, but not like villain arc for it.